parameters, literally parameters in the parameters resolution were set forth by you a couple of months ago, and so it was a matter of being prepared to go out into the market and timing that with a sale of the bonds for 2016 bond, and that's where they'll bring you up to date. And we're also going to ask you today to take action on the transfer of funds from Cedar Haven proceeds over to Fulton Bank to pay off the portion of the 2011 bond that was for Cedar Haven improvements. That'll need to happen toward the end of this month, but might as well get the action on it today.
John, or whoever's taking the lead, please introduce yourself and then your colleagues.
Sure. Well, I can get started.
Go ahead.
Morning, Commissioners. John Hewlett with Susquehanna Advisors. We're the financial advisor to the county as it relates to the issuance of the 2016 bonds. Just to give you a little background, the series of 2011 general obligation bonds of the county were issued for various energy efficiency projects back in 2011. As Jamie pointed out, a portion of the buildings that were equipped, or one of the buildings that was equipped, was the nursing home, and that represents about 35% of the proceeds, the original proceeds of the 2011 bonds. The original principal of the 2011 bonds was $3.8 million. Today there's about $3.1 million remaining, of which $2,055,000 is allocated to county projects. So based on current market interest rates, there was a refunding opportunity to issue new refunding bonds to achieve debt service savings to the county. And the portion allocated to the county projects are currently, the buildings that are owned by the county are being refunded with proceeds of the new bonds. The portion allocated to the nursing home is being paid with cash from.
And that amount is?
The amount of bonds being paid off is $1,105,000. The amount of the cash payment is $1,109,000 approximately.
And that's all attributable to Cedar Haven?
That's correct. Those are the energy efficiency projects at Cedar Haven.
$1,109,000.
Yep, $999.72 is the exact amount. So as far as the refunding goes, the 2016 bonds are being issued in the principal amount of $2,180,000. That represents approximately 12% of the county's overall debt outstanding. The true interest cost, or the average interest cost in the new bonds, is 2.74%, and that's in comparison to 4.43% on the 2011 bonds that are being refunded. So that that interest rate differential produces debt service savings, net present value debt service savings of $157,000 to the county.
Is that after the Cedar Haven is backed out?
Yeah, this is just the county's portion. Yes, okay. That's correct. We're just the county's portion. That's the debt, or that's the savings that's produced. The savings as a percentage of the bonds being refunded is almost 8%. Well above the industry threshold to affect a refunding. That's about 3%. So there's significant savings. The savings is being taken up front, with the majority being realized in 2017, and that figure is approximately $142,000 in 2017. There's a small amount of savings in 2018, about $15,000, and then the remaining years from 2019 through 2031, there's essentially no change in debt service. There's no extension with the refunding debt. It's got the same final maturity of April 15th, 2031. The bonds are being issued with a 5-year call. The county will have the option to redeem bonds in April of 2022. The savings that we represented are net of all transaction costs, so that's net savings to the county. The bonds are fixed rate bonds, traditional fixed rate bonds to replace fixed rate bonds. There's no floating interest rate risk, obviously no swap risk or any type of risk associated with the bonds. And that's pretty much a summary of the issue. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have.
The $142,000 savings in 2017 that you mentioned has been factored into the 2017 budget. So debt service has been reduced for next year.
Pretty clear explanation, but are there any questions?
Do you happen to know, putting you on the spot here, the outstanding principal debt of the county after this transaction, after the 1.1 million?
In total, it's about 17, it's under $18 million. I can get you the
I
exact
thought it was
figure.
around 18.
You're talking total.
Total
Total, yep.
debt, yeah. So, and obviously this 1.1 million just goes right off of principal, literally lowers your, the debt by that immediately, so. That'll be sometime in the end of November that transfer takes.
Yes, the
to
bonds will
place.
be refunded on the 25th of the month.
Yeah, the bonds are set to settle on the 15th, and the prior bonds are being redeemed on the 25th of this month,
Okay.
Settled November 15th.
November 15th.
So there's no action on the bond issuance itself, that's already been done. What we need today is for you to act on transferring funds from Cedar Haven proceeds to Fulton Bank for the payoff of the Cedar Haven portion of the 2011 bonds.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yep.
Seek a motion to do that.
And again, the exact amount, $1,109,999.72.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions beyond that that we've had? If not, all in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, so moved.